This is Roseanne Sarita, singer-songwriter and producer, and you're listening to Danny Coleman's fabulous Rock on Radio show.
Well, how about that?
It works. Does it work now?
That's much better. Yes. Welcome to Rock on Radio once again. Another show from the library series.
That's right. Chapter 14.
Yeah. Look at that candle. Does it say what it says on it? Legend. Legend. That's right.
Well, these are sandalwood.
Yeah, there's sandalwood.
This is a lower.
Mm-hmm. It's not a Rock on Radio product, though. Oh, Rock on Radio koozie.
I'm sorry. Candle. Oh, you know what? The paint can is a Legend, and these are the sandalwood ones.
Sandalwood collection.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
This is the version 1.
Oh, correct. Well, matter of fact, Rock on Radio is brought to you by Dee Dee's Lights. Dee Dee is the official chandler of Rock on Radio. You can find all of her fantastic candles at deedeslights.com. That's DEEDEE. Lights.com. O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of East Hampton, Mount Holly, New Jersey, the official caterers of Rock on Radio. I spoke with Patrick just on the way here, actually.
Nice.
And they may be providing food for our April 24th beer reveal.
Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Tyndall Road.
At Tyndall Road Brewery.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Another one of our sponsors. Now, what we're doing on April 24th is we're having the Danny's Pick Party.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you are listening to this and you want to come to 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown City in Burlington County, New Jersey, please do. And you can help have a say in what the Danny's Pick beer will be on their menu from that night forward.
Nice.
So, there will be food from O'Connor's, possibly, if we got to get the approval for that first. And entertainment by Monk & Monk.
That's right.
2/3 of our law firm will be entertaining us that evening.
I already spread the word, so hopefully some of my friends will come and my children.
Fantastic. Well, we can kidnap your kids, can't we?
Nope. They're all adults.
Well,
You can adult nap them, but you can't kidnap them.
oh, that's even better. Then they have to get lawyers. So, yes, Tyndall Road Brewery on 102 Farnsworth Avenue in Bordentown City. Lillipie's of Princeton. Dare I push my luck and reach out to Jen to see about for that
We have to pick them up, though.
event?
We have to pick it up. It's a Friday, though.
I'll
so.
pick it up in the morning.
Yeah.
It is a Friday, yes, April 24th that we'll be doing that event. But you can go to Lillipie's anytime. They are located at 301 North Harrison Street inside the Princeton Shopping Center. And they are the official dessert provider of Rock on Radio.
That's right.
And once we get the huge painting done, we can take it to Phoenix Art Supply and framing of me in my velvet smoking jacket.
Oh, I was going to say, what painting are we painting?
Oh, yeah. With Misty next to me as my faithful steed.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
Is
Misty.
it purple smoking dragon, did you say?
Purple velour.
Oh,
too.
yes.
Oh,
yeah.
With
Wow.
an ascot.
Velvet. A little velvet.
A little velvet, like a velvet Elvis, but it'll be a big velvet me.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
That's some visual. Let me see.
I think so.
Okay.
Um,
Very distracting.
Now I lost track. Phoenix Art Supply and Framing is located on Route 611, otherwise known as Southeastern Road, in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, where Jenny Schaefer provides you with the finest art supplies and framework in the Doylestown area and beyond into the Delaware Valley. It's Phoenix Art Supply and Framing. New Jersey Stage. Go to newjerseystage.com and you will find the finest in arts and entertainment coverage throughout the Garden State and beyond. You'll also find the Penguin Rocks, where you can find all of these shows archived all of our Rock On Radio archives are there under the Penguin Rocks. And actually, no, I misspoke. There is a Mixcloud link, mixcloud.com, The Penguin, where you go to find all of these shows archived.
Yeah.
So, NewJerseyStage.com, AsburyParkVibes.com. Doug and Diane, or maybe just Diane. I was talking to her a couple of weeks ago, and then she just fell off the face of the earth.
I saw her post something recently, I think. I don't know. I don't
But
remember.
I guess I've known her long enough now where she could treat me like most women, just disappear and not,
I guess so.
like leave.
Sneak out the back door.
In the middle of like this conversation, and they never respond.
Oop, bye.
Yeah. What's that called? Gasting or ghost? What is that?
Gaslighting.
Is that what it is?
Or ghosting.
A combination would be gasting?
Casting.
I don't know. I'm not hip like you on that technology.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm hip, all right.
Where what was that a couple weeks ago? Red light, off red, on red.
What? Unread.
Unread.
No, you're on red. Well, you're not red, so you're kind of unread. But they say on red, which
Like you're
means
paused.
You see that they read it. So you see that they read the text.
Oh, is that what that means?
It's on red. But I used to think it was unread, so that you don't ever. So it just shows delivered and not read. So I think that's worse because they don't even read it. But I guess it's worse that they read it and don't respond. So.
And do your teenage experts or your adult
Previously known as
teenage experts, do they fill you in on all of this?
I'm really good with context clues.
Wow. Okay then. Well, I know soon one of them will be going on tour.
Oh, sure.
G-Race be going out with P-Sync.
P-Sync, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll be their hype man.
Oh my.
Go out there and dance for them on stage. Smoking cigars.
Bring your smoking jacket.
Big old alarm clock around with a big gold chain hanging around my neck.
Which one is the guy that does that?
It's where we missed Madison. She would have known that.
She
right
would have
away.
known that. Some dude with. I remember I saw a heart with a clock or something. I don't know.
Speaking of Madison, I went to my P.O. box.
Did you get something?
No.
Oh man.
Madison is out of luck.
Oh, I got a Ziploc bag full of stuff.
What I think we need to do maybe is start posting. I mean, I try to share the deco reels that she puts out.
Yeah, me too.
I think maybe we need to start posting some pictures of her so these young men that see her might think, "Ooh, let me send her some candy."
I did post a picture. But the thing is that I'm not sure exactly how many young men are listening to our.
All right, creepy old men, whatever it might be.
That's the problem. I don't want creepy old men sending her stuff.
Well, we're working for the
I'm a
kid.
Mom, I wouldn't want to do that. I know. You know what?
Look,
I'll bring her. I have a snack drawer full of stuff.
Yeah, but you see, what you don't understand is, creepy old men can do whatever they want. Her father will pulverize them. He's a very large man.
Well, maybe they know that. And that's
he
why
likes
they're
me
not
though.
sending it. Oh, he likes
Or
you.
so she says.
Yeah.
He hung out with me at the Deco event
Okay.
in New Hope that time at the music room, Carrie's music room.
After you bought his daughter Coke.
I said, "Don't you dare tell him."
Whoopsie.
I think her birthday's in July. I'll buy her a whole bottle of rum. No, I won't, Madison. Sorry, did I say that? Anyway, yeah. So that was AsburyParkVibes.com. Sinister Footwear. Go to sinisterfw.com and check out the wild and zany socks that Tina sells.
Right.
And use the promo code DCRSocks at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. That's sinisterfootwear.com. The New Jersey Shore Blues Foundation. Jazz and Blues Foundation. Go to jsjbf.org and see what the foundation has coming up this summer. They have their Reckless Steamy Nights events. They have their monthly open mic. They have their the Jazz and Blues Festival, which is in Long Branch, which I will once again be emceeing in
I'll show
Long
up at some
Branch.
point. I just don't know if I'll get there early.
All right, well, we'll play it by ear then.
Oh, family weddings are big, so.
Well, you have a big family.
I do.
So we'll be handling that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it, I think, right? JSJBF.org, Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation. We actually have, towards the end of the first, or at the end of the program, we have an interview that I did tonight with Cricket Edgeworth.
Mm-hmm.
Cricket she is a blast to talk to. She got that little southern accent, and has all them southern phrases down. But I did a podcast with her a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to air it as a part of the show this evening.
Nice.
She pretty much is in the what the heck's the name of the band? She'll say it in the interview, but she plays in Hambone, and it's the Hopeless Case Band. I think the Hopeless Case Band is what it is. But we have an interview with Cricket Edgeworth from Clarksdale, Mississippi. She's talking about the Juke Joint Festival,
Nice.
which is next weekend, April 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
And she's talking about the what it's like to live in Clarksdale and be from Clarksdale and the people and things of that nature. And I also have an interview that'll probably encompass most of this hour and into the second hour with Linda Chorny. Now, if you're not familiar with Linda Chorny, she has a new book out. It's called "It's Not Over. It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings." It's an audio book, and she talks all about that. But Linda Chorny literally changed the way indie artists are allowed into the Grammy Awards.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She was the first indie artist to get nominated and actually be on the ballot
Cool.
for an Americana CD that she had done. She lost to the late great Levon Helm of the band. So Linda talks to us all about that. But this first interview is a gentleman by the name of Johnny A, who played with Joe Perry of Aerosmith and Peter Wolf of Jay Giles Band and a lot of other people and performers that he's played with. He just did a show at the Iridium in New York City last week, and just before the show I had a chance to catch up with him.
Nice.
And do a quick interview. But before we get to that interview, Claire,
Yes.
how can they find out more about us?
They go to dcror.com, which is the short link for Danny Coleman's rockonradio.com.
That's right. And Facebook is facebook.com/Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2. And Instagram @Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. So, as promised, here is my interview with Johnny A, whose Johnny A Trio was just at the Iridium in New York City. And then we'll be back with Linda Chorny, I think we'll do next.
Okay.
All right. All right, so yeah, you're going to be at the Iridium on the 22nd, coming up soon, huh?
Yeah, a couple weeks from now. Looking forward to it.
All right, fantastic. Do me a favor, tell my listeners about you.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I hail from Boston, Massachusetts, and been playing guitar most of my child to adult life, and pretty much all of it, and had the opportunity to work with a lot of great artists as a sideman. Originally, I was working with Doug Clifford from Creedence Clearwater back in the late 70s, and then I was the musical director for Bobby Whitlock, who was the keyboard player for Derek and the Dominoes, Delaney and Bonnie. Also did the George Harrison's All Things Must Pass album. Later on went to be the musical director for Peter Wolf from the Jay Giles Band for about 8 or 9 years. Co-produced one of his albums on Warner Brothers. And then I went previous to all that stuff, I had my own bands in Boston. After the Wolf thing, I ended up doing my first debut internationally released record sometime Tuesday morning, which came out in the year 2000. I put out another album in 2004 on Steve Vai's label that got nominated for Grammy. I did a live DVD CD in 2010, and then my latest two things have been I had my third studio album, Driven, came out in 2014, and I released the single last year, just digitally and on all digital formats. And also was the touring lead guitarist for a band called the Yardbirds out of London for about almost 4 years. And I'm back to doing my trio again. I was touring solo for quite some time, doing like a looping show that was very well. It was very well received, and I worked about 5 or 6 years doing it. But I wanted to get back to playing in a small ensemble and something that was more free and more improvised. So I've been working with my trio now for quite some time, and that's what I'll be coming into the Iridium with, my trio.
Okay, fantastic. On March 22nd.
That's right.
You mentioned, well, as soon as you said you were from Boston, I immediately put the Jay Giles and Peter Wolf connection together there. Did you guys know each other as youths, or did you meet just from being musicians?
We met from being musicians. I mean, I think the first time I met Wolf, a buddy of mine, Jeff Golub, who later on went to play with Rod Stewart and Billy Squire, and had a brilliant smooth jazz solo career. May he rest in peace. I mean, he's passed away a few years ago now, but he brought Wolf down to see me play because when they were doing the Come As You Are tour or Lights Out tour or something like that, they wanted another guitar player, so Wolf came and checked me out. That was the first time I met him, but the second time I actually met him and really worked with him, I was called in to do a Christmas single for the local radio station, WBCN, and it was a track that featured Wolf as the vocalist, and I was hired to play acoustic slide guitar on that track. And then later on, I just auditioned like a million other people in Boston for his band, and I got the gig, and we played together for, I guess, 8 or 9 years. I starting in 93 to 90, late 92 to 99, I think.
Oh, okay. Cool. And you also mentioned that you worked with Cosmo, I see. Doug is pretty funny. I've interviewed him multiple times over the last 15 years, and every now and then, I don't know if he just hasn't gotten a phone call or what, but every now and then he'll pocket dial me.
Oh, that's funny.
But the funny part is he's never just like, oh, sorry, bye. He's always like, so how are you? You know?
Yeah, I actually stayed at his house when we were trying to work something out. That's the first time I met Bobby Whitlock too, because it was Doug and Bobby Whitlock, a bass player, and myself, and they were trying to put this thing together with this manager I knew called Ray Perrette, and it kind of was a little bit haphazard. It never did come together. I ended up coming back to Boston and just worked with my band that I was trying to get a record deal with, but they were nice people. But I stayed up at his house, and I think it was in Kensington, in the Bay Area.
Oh, okay. Because I think he's in Colorado now.
He was in the Bay Area back then.
Oh, okay. All right.
Actually, the other guy I worked with from the Bay Area prior to that, like in 73, 74, was Mingo Lewis. You familiar with him?
Is that Santana? No.
Mingo played for Santana, and he was also worked with Al Di Meola.
Oh,
and,
all right.
He was putting a band together out there with a good friend of mine who was the next drummer from Frank Zappa. And I got the call to go out there, and I was out there for a couple months, and I don't know, it just didn't feel, the chemistry didn't feel right to me, so I came back home.
Mm-hmm. So I know as a musician myself, chemistry is everything. You know. So
money's good too.
Yeah, well, that's true. That usually comes if you have the right chemistry. Kind of like an alchemist. The guys you're jamming with now to make up the trio. Give us a little
Great
history.
Players. I got a drummer that I've been working with on and off for 15 years. His name is Marty Richards. And Marty's worked with everybody from jazz greats, Gary Burton, to rock guys. He was in the Jay Giles band. He did play for Joe Perry from Aerosmith. A lot of other people. And I got Brad Helene on bass, who was with Ministry, Sue Tedeschi, Duke Robillard, tons of people.
Oh, okay, so you got a drummer who's got multiple influences, and Your bassist seems to have a lot of blues influences. What about you? What is it that drove you or drives you today?
My SUV usually. No, I mean I'm influenced and inspired by all kinds of stuff. It's I was a huge Beatle fan when I was a kid, and all the British invasion stuff, the Yardbirds, the Kinks, the Animals, the Stones, and then I graduated to like the British blues stuff and listened to a lot of Cream and early Clapton and Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac, Jimi Hendrix, Savoy Brown, and then I got into a lot of prog rock type of music and Gentle Giant and King Crimson and Yes and Michael Urbaniak with the fusion stuff and Chick Corea, Return to the Heavens, Return to the Seventh Galaxy, Hymn for the Seventh Galaxy by Return to Forever. John McLaughlin, Mahavishnu Orchestra. Obviously a huge Jeff Beck fan. He's like probably my number one guy. Then started getting into jazz. Started listening to a lot of Wes Montgomery, Jim Hall, Pat Martino, Kenny Burrell. And then, I was into country guys too, and, I was a fan of James Burton and Albert Lee, and, but I'm more of a song guy than I am a shredder guy. Like even music that I listen to at home, most of it is not instrumental guitar players. It's mostly great songs. Like I'm a big fan of Jerry Rafferty. I'm a big fan of the Everly Brothers. I'm a big fan of Chris Whitley. And usually songs that I pick to do instrumentals of, they're vocally based songs. They're usually never instrumental covers that I cover. Because I like arrangement and I like melody and I like form. I don't like really endless riffing and, a lot of that stuff. But that's just me.
Well, that was going to be my question, which is why I asked you about the band and what drove you to play music or what you listen to. How does that affect your own songwriting? I mean, because that's quite a mix there. It's quite a journey you just took me on.
Yeah, well, my albums, my songs, they have elements. It's not uncommon that you hear elements of different genres, even within a song. And my solos the same way when I solo. There's definitely a big blues rock influence in the way I approach things, but there's also a pop sensibility in things. And there's some jazz influence in there too, but I don't really, it's not like heady jazz. It's jazzy. I like to think that I'm not really a rock player. I kind of rockish. I'm bluesy, but not really a die-hard blues player. I play country-ish. It's not really country. Jazzy, not really jazz. It's just kind of an amalgamation of, all these styles of people that I like that, have been like, come through me, via osmosis or whatever have you. And, you put it in a blending, you hit puree, and hopefully it comes out sounding like something different from everybody else,
Yeah, I do, actually. I'll never forget the very first band I was in. The one guy liked diehard Beatles fan.
Mm-hmm.
The other guy was like a Black Sabbath fan.
Wild.
Yep. Then you had me. I've had lead poisoning since I was 12 when I got Zeppelin 4. I like Led Zeppelin and blues. And then you had a keyboard player who was a prog rock guy, and a bass player whose father played the organ up at the local mall in front of the Thomas organ store, or Thomasville organ store, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Yeah.
And yet when you put it all together, and the lead singer, of course, he was just in it for the chicks. So, you put it all together, and it came out like a cacophony at first. But we were one of the only bands in the area, 15 years old, doing original material,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Cool.
So it kind of forced all of us to listen to a lot of different things and gave us this very unique sound, which at times sounded like a bunch of 15-year-old kids, and others sounded like, wow, it's kind of mature for 15-year-old kids. Yeah, but
Mm-hmm. But with this thing, being a trio and being more open-ended, and the format of the type of music being more open-ended, it gives me a chance to be, 80% improvised on the show, which I'm really enjoying. I'm having more fun doing this right now than I've had in years playing. So I've got spirited players in the band, guys that can play off each other, guys that know how to have a musical conversation on stage. So it's very dynamic, and so I'm just, that's kind of the path that I've been doing for about the last 6 months, and I plan to do for a while now until I get bored and figure out what else to do.
All right, great. And the Yardbirds, I'm trying to think when I've spoken with Jim McCarty more times than I can count over the last 10 years or so. I'm just trying to think if you were on the bill at Havana in New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that was me.
Was that you? I was going to say, it would have been around 2015, 2016.
Yep. I played with him from 2015 to 2019.
Okay. How about that? Then I've met you before. Because afterwards, I was, when you got, was Kenny Aronson playing bass?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, then that's nice. Yeah, you guys all signed autographs or albums or something at the table afterwards.
Yep. Yep.
How about that? So I have met you before then.
Possibly.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, so what's after this? What's coming up?
Let me see. What do I got going on? I'm doing a couple of these. A promoter put together this series of shows called Guitar Monsters, where they've got 3 different marquee guitar players on the bill with a backup band, and I'm doing a few of those. I'm heading down to Dallas, Texas to do the Dallas Guitar Festival in May. We got a couple more trio shows. I also have a side project called Beckola, which is a tribute celebration of Jeff Beck's career, which is a 5-piece band, and kind of more of a vanity project. It's not like a steady working thing. It's like when we all have time, I try to put a couple shows together. It's an excellent band. We're doing 21 Jeff Beck songs from 12 different albums, right, starting from way back right to the end.
Oh, wow.
Fantastic musicians in that band.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm using Steve Hunt on keyboards, who's played with everybody from Alan Holdsworth to Stanley Clark to Billy Cobham, and it's quite a band.
Wow. Very cool. Well, good for you. All right. Yeah,
so
enough.
That's kind of what my life has been lately. I just got back from a tour, 2 weeks out in the west coast of Canada, doing Calgary, Vancouver, Victoria, also Carmel, California, and a couple shows in Phoenix, Arizona with this organization that I'm involved with called BANC, B-A-N-C, which stands for Benevolent Artists National Charities. And it's about 14 of us in the band, not necessarily all on stage at the same time, but the idea of this project is to raise funds for different charities, and the vision started 10 years ago. I've been involved with them for maybe 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and it was one of the visionaries was Rudy Sazzo from the band Quiet Riot and Whitesnake, and he put it together with this person Jim Carter, and their goal was to raise $10 million in 10 years for charities, different charities, children's pediatrics cancer, animal rescue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I've been involved with it, like I said, for close to 4 years. And this year we just went over the $10 million mark gifted to charities, and they reached their goal. And, some of the people in this band, Bernard Fowler from the Rolling Stones, Teddy Andreatis from Guns N' Roses, some of the people from Emmylou Harris's band, Ellis Hall, all kinds of people. It's a great thing. We usually do it once a year. We usually do about half a dozen 7 shows a year, and they're all raised for charities. And I get back from that about 4 days ago.
Taking a Calgary Flames games while you were out that way, or anything out there?
Not really enough time to do any of that stuff. It's pretty much show and go.
Well, there you go. All right. That was Oh Yeah by Johnny A, the Johnny A Trio at the Iridium last month in March.
Nice.
And he had a lot more to say, but I had to kind of constrain some things. But nice guy, Johnny A. Up next on the Rock On Radio Hit Parade is Linda Chorny, who, as I prefaced earlier, had a major influence on how Grammy Awards were voted upon, or the nomination process, and she explains it a little bit more. She had a great movie out years back called When I Sing, and now she's got this great audiobook called It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. So here's the time I spent with Linda Chorny. All right, welcome to yet another Rock On podcast. And this one, it kind of warms my heart. Well, not kind of. It definitely warms my heart. Because, as her and I were just discussing, she has been with me pretty much from the start of Rock On Radio. And her name is Linda Chorny. And she has written a brand new book. It's an audio book. It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. So please welcome Linda Chorny to the Rock On Radio podcast. How are you, my friend?
Rock On Radio. Hi, Danny. I'm good.
Excellent. Excellent. So we know you wrote the movie, or you made a movie, which was called When I Sing, which was fantastic, and
Thank you.
was comical, and
Don't forget self-absorbed.
well, it's about your journey. So
That's
why
right.
wouldn't it be self-absorbed? But
Exactly.
now the book that you've written, is this just an audio book or is it both?
No, it started out as a written book, and I wasn't planning on writing a second book, and I thought I pretty much had my story with the movie When I Sing, which ends with a climactic event. But after that, I would say my career was anticlimactic for the next 10 years. For being an independent artist and struggling my whole life to try to get noticed and try to get that big record deal, and then finally at age 51, being the first independent artist to get nominated for a Grammy for Best Americana Album, I thought that was going to give a major boost to my career, but the Americana Association did not profit off of my nomination, so I experienced dirty politics, which takes place in other businesses other than the government. And so anyway, the anticlimactic comes in because I thought it was going to be my Cinderella story, and instead they tried to poop in my glass slipper. So, but I thought that was the end. And then 10 years later, I threw another song into the Grammys. And the reason I hadn't submitted another song into the Grammys is because they changed the rules because of me.
Right.
The first time I got nominated.
Yeah.
So, but then they got a new CEO, Harvey Mason Jr., great guy, by the way, and he decided to take away the committees that block the indies from getting in.
Which was a major portion of the film When I Sing, showing just how difficult it was to get nominated if you didn't have the backing of a large record company. And you found a way to kind of skirt the system. Kind of like driving to Washington, and you take that thing that gets you around the Beltway,
I found a crack in the gate.
Right,
yes.
Which didn't go over real well with a lot of people back then.
Too bad.
Now, exactly. Now, is that why you kind of got it 10 years later? They remembered? Because, look, you've had some great album titles over the year, Chorn Star, Me So Chorny. You love a good play on words and a good play on your last name. And I believe, what the heck was it the album or was it the book that led to who is Linda Chorny? Which one?
Which one led to what?
Which one came first?
Oh, the chicken.
The chicken. And then he got
So,
squashed
by the
on the
way,
road.
I don't have an album called Chorn Star, but I kind of like that, Danny. I may have to use that. It was actually chornography, but
Oh, that's it. I'm sorry. I
that's
knew it
okay.
was something close.
The nomination came first after 6 albums and spending my entire life playing in bars, and then came the book. Who the bleep is Linda Chorny? And then, a lot of people said, oh, after your nomination, all this, they made up a story that I somehow cheated to get nominated. And just like in politics, people ran with that, even though it wasn't true. And the president and vice president of NARIS, the Recording Academy, said she did nothing wrong. She gained the votes. I got the votes because they liked the music, because nobody knew me. So that's first of all. But afterwards, when allegedly, that'll be forgotten and you'll just be known as Grammy nominee Linda Chorny, every single year another article would come out. If there was any sort of controversial nomination, they would compare it to the fiasco that was mine. So it wasn't forgotten. And so I said, if it's the last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make the movie of the story of my life. And I did. And that was When I Sing. And that was that. And then I kept singing, kept playing. And then, again, they changed the rules 10 years later. And I got another controversial nomination. And so I had to write the next book, which is It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings, which became an audiobook.
Which is why we are here today. So tell us about the book and the premise. And from what I'm listening to, it sounds like they didn't forget about Linda Chorny, even though it was a decade later.
Hey, isn't that cool? They didn't forget about me. No, I had a blast doing the audiobook. I had an incredible time, and I had a great team of editors to try to pull back the reins on my unfiltered words. But there's a guy. I'm from Boston, WBZ Radio. His name is Jordan Rich, and he's got this golden voice. He was a featured narrator, and I also featured some independent artists that I think should become famous that never did, like Arlen Filas from the Jersey Shore. So, and Mary McCrink from the Jersey Shore. I mentioned people from all over that, there's so many great artists out there that just don't catch their break. And so I wanted to pay my respects to all those artists. It's just a really hard business, and it's even harder now.
That is true. Actually, Arlen was just on Rock On Radio, I guess, right before Christmas. And
no kidding.
And Mary McCrink she comes to my Christmas show every year in Asbury Park. So,
my God. So if I may quote what I say about Mary in the book, I say her version of Holy Night brings this Jew to her knees because it's so beautiful.
Have you ever heard that Christmas album that she did with her sisters?
Oh no, I did not.
It's spectacular. It's full of things like "Oh Holy," like the vocalization is and it's just incredible.
Fantastic.
Yep, and well worth it. So you kind of paid homage to some of the people when you did live here in Jersey.
Yeah, and Mary was mentioned in my book. Arlen was mentioned. Also, Richie Blackwell's mentioned. John Eddy's mentioned. Ralph Notaro. All these people that I think are fantastic. But anyway, the second book came along because basically, okay, it's really hard to speak the truth because it kind of toots my own horn, and so it's hard for me to say it myself, but my first nomination, I was the first independent ever to get a nomination for Best Americana Album. I had the pleasure of losing to Leave on Helm. And then the second time, I made history again by being the first person to catch somebody from either the Grammys, Oscars, Tonys, or Emmys. You know how people say they got robbed, but they can't prove it?
Right.
I proved it. And they had to give me my nomination back. And then I had the honor of losing to John Baptiste the second time. But it was quite a battle, and that's why I felt like I had to write the second book. But I'm going to go back to tooting my horn again.
That's why we're here, my friend. That's why we're here.
Well, so I've had phone calls from people from all walks of life, not just musicians. Like, this one day, when I released the book only a few months ago, which is on Apple Books, which anybody who has an iPhone, you have books right in your phone. You don't need a subscription, and then you can just download the one book. And then if you have a Droid, then it's on Spotify. But anyway, my point is, so I lost to John Baptiste the second time, but I was the first person to actually prove that I was robbed and I got the nomination back. So and that's my dog Mad Mo, who I got during the pandemic. I was one of the people who got a dog like a million others during the pandemic, but I kept him. There were people who got pets during COVID, and then when COVID went away, they gave away their pets. And I would just like to make a public announcement that you guys are scumbags who did that. You gonna cut that out?
Nope.
Good, because I think that's really shitty. Anyway, okay, so, and during the pandemic is when I wrote the song "Bored."
Okay.
That got the nomination in 2022.
What made you choose that one?
Because I was bored out of my mind during COVID, but here I was with a beautiful puppy in a nice house, with food stocked, not hoarded, but I had food, and none of us were sick. So I kind of felt guilty about being bored, because here I am bored, like, oh, poor Linda, she's bored, while people were dying. And so the song is about that controversy in my mind. So there are tempo changes within the song. And so I think you wanted to play that song, and we could do that if you want.
I will do that. As now that you've given us the backstory, we'll do that. If you're just clicking in or tuning in, I am here with Linda Chorny. She is in Arizona, so technically I'm really not here with her, but we are together via technology, and she has written a book, which is an audio book. It's called It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. Kind of, but not really, a continuation of her trials and tribulations with the Grammy Committee and the Grammy Awards and the great movie When I Sing. And this song is what kind of began round two, correct?
Correcto mundo.
All right. Here's Linda Chorny, and here is Bored.
I'm bored out of my mind. Yeah, I have never had me so much time. Whoa, I'm bored out of my mind, but at least I'm feeling, something. Yeah, I'm feeling bored out of my mind, so bored at the window at my view. Now I don't bother getting dressed, 'cause the only place I'm going is the living room. But at least I am still living, while so many in the world left us too soon. Oh, sending out healing vibes. Sending out healing vibes. Sending out healing I'm bored out of my mind. Yeah, I have had enough time to unwind. Oh, I kind of feel a bit confined, but at least I'm feeling fine. Sending out positive energy and love feels like the right thing for my soul. Get my ass up off the couch and start dancing to some good old rock and roll.
That is Bored from Linda Chorny here on Rock On Radio and a Rock On podcast. Is that on an album, Linda, or is that just a single that you released?
It's just a single, and now that you brought that up, people don't buy CDs anymore. Like, an album is just this thing you don't really hold unless you're doing vinyl. And, oh my God, do I complain? My book is like, it's all about complaining about how the industry has changed our income. It really has, unless you're Taylor Swift and you have a gazillion streams. First they came for my albums where I could sell the CDs at the show for $15, $20 and make a ton of profit. Then they changed us to downloads where you could make 79 cents a song, or for an album you could make whatever 10 times 79 cents. And then they started streaming, where if you have 100,000 streams, it brings your income completely down. Like, if somebody bought 100,000 albums, you'd do pretty well. But 100,000 streams doesn't buy me enough to bring my dog to the vet.
Right. Yes, sadly, we have that discussion all of the time. And I don't just hear it from the indie artists. I hear it from people who have been in the business for 50 years. Same thing. All I know is my royalty checks are a lot smaller, is what I hear from them. So,
right. And it's the trickle down, because I can't justify recording an album where I'm paying. I use the best musicians in the business. And in fact, on my first album, Lisa Fisher from the Rolling Stones, Will Lee, Sean Pelton, Jeff Pevar, the list goes on, of these superstars, and we paid them. But if you're not getting the income back, you can't afford to pay these musicians. So it sucks all around. But fortunately, on the first album, that was not the case.
Right. No, and it really is. If and I just some Jersey Shore artists that we have in common, I know have spent anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000 to make a CD, and you're never going to get that back in revenue streaming, not unless you take off.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
But how do we find the book and your websites and everything again?
Okay. Well, my website's lindachorny.com. The book you can get on Spotify if you are a Droid person, but if you have an iPhone, you should get it from Apple Books under books. And for those of you listening who are musicians, this is a freaking therapy session. You'll be like, yeah, that's how I feel. So you won't be alone. I promise you'll have laughs. Oh yeah, what I was going to say before is I get phone calls from people and letters saying, I listened to your book while I'm jogging and I'm laughing my butt off, and people look at me like I'm crazy. Then I get another person, yes, I've been listening to your book and I'm sitting in the car because I want to finish the chapter because I'm laughing so hard, and then people look at me in my car laughing to myself and think I'm crazy. So if you want to have everybody think you're crazy, listen to my book.
Perfect. Now, in full disclosure, you've sent me the book, of which I had begun listening to it, but as you know, I'm going through some stuff over here with aging parents, so I listen to it as I can. And however, you did dedicate this book to a certain group of individuals.
That's right.
And go ahead.
I've dedicated the book to independent musicians, the unsigned, unsung heroes, and that is the truth. And you're talking about your mom and taking care of aging parents. What a drag it is getting old. So if I know you wanted to play another song of mine, but this is I didn't write this one. This is Mother's Little Helper. And I have featured Lisa Fisher on it when we could afford to pay Lisa Fisher. She's incredible. She sang with the Rolling Stones for 18 years, and I had the honor of having her chops on my full album. Actually, it was a double album, Emotional Jukebox, that was nominated, and the first time. And so I love what she did here.
Okay, well, we will, unless you're done talking to me, we will get to that at a little more towards the end, or if you had enough of me.
Oh, I'll never have enough of you, but I would like to dedicate that song to everybody who's listening, who's getting older and is having to deal with elderly parents and taking care of them. It's tough. It's a tough part of our lives.
All right.
And I don't think a 25-year-old Mick Jagger was thinking that when he wrote the song. And I decided to rewrite it because, not rewrite it, excuse me, you can get rid of it. I decided to re-record it as the actual woman getting older who needs a freaking Valium.
That's Mother's Little Helper.
Kids are different today. I hear every mother say, Mother needs something today to calm her down. And though she's not really ill, there's a little yellow pill. She goes running for the shelter of her mother's little helper, and it helps her on her way, gets her through her busy day. Things are different today. I hear every mother say, cooking fresh food for her husband's just a drag. So she buys an instant cake, and she burns her frozen steak, and goes running for the shelter of her mother's little helper. just aren't the same today. I hear every mother say they just don't appreciate that you get tired. They're so hard to satisfy. You can tranquilize your mind and go running for the shelter of her mother's little helper, and for help you through the night, help to minimize your plight. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Doctor, please, some more of these outside the door. She took 4 more. What a drag it is getting old. What a drag. Life's just much too hard today. I hear every mother say the pursuit of happiness just seems a bore. And if you take more of those, you will get an overdose. No more running for the shelter of a mother's little helper. They just helped you on your way through your busy dying day. What a drag. What a drag. What a drag. What a drag it is getting old.
Mother's Little Helper, Linda Chorny style, fantastic. What made you want to go out and get Lisa?
Who wouldn't want to go out and get Lisa?
Well, I understand that, but it popped into your head. Was there an alternative? I mean, there's a lot of talent along the Jersey Shore where you were living at the time.
Yeah, actually, at the time, if we go back, I had a production deal with a guy named Tony Prendet and Soundtrack Studios in New York. I almost got signed a few times. Like, I came close, but it just didn't happen. And just like Arlen, Arlen had Tom Dowd produced him, who produced Eric Clapton, and they shelved his album, which actually brings me to there are advantages to being an independent musician. You don't have to answer to anyone, and you get to do whatever you want. Okay, it doesn't mean you're going to make money, but there is some self-satisfaction in being your own boss. But see, this is where I friggin' forget. This is what happens when you get old, Danny. You're making this great point. Oh yeah, Lisa Fisher. So I was signed to a production deal with this guy who was a Grammy-winning guy, and he introduced me to Lisa Fisher, who sang on this song called "Living Alone," which I broke the top 40 with at age 40. And I thought, oh my God, here's another story, which is also in the book. So I wrote the song Living Alone, and we had 3 record deals on the table. We're talking 6 figures, people fighting over me. And I thought, I'm finally going to make it at age 40. And I thought I was too old at age 40. What a drag it is getting old. And the day Tony went to shop the deal was a Tuesday, a beautiful sunny Tuesday in September 11th. Yeah, he got out of the subway, and the 2 planes hit the World Trade Center. And so he had to walk all the way back to New Jersey, crossing the George Washington Bridge, And, of course, life changed that day. And at that point, I was like, well, how important is another song? How important is a record deal when all those people died? Everything changed that day.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and I have a song about that.
You got luck like me.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it's called We Bless America. But that song brought my husband to me from New Jersey. He was there when the World Trade Center was hit. He saw the first building get hit, and he watched the first building collapse while he was on the ferry going back to Jersey. And it was my song, believe it or not, that brought him all the way to Colorado to hear me sing.
Oh, wow.
Scott Fadnick.
I was going to say, how is my man Scott?
Scott is doing great. He's playing golf and loving life out here. I'm the one working.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's why I have Lisa. That was the song I thought I was going to make. 2 planes hit the World Trade Center. I figured it wasn't in the cards to get nominated. To get a record deal, and then lo and behold, I get nominated at age 51. My husband, Scott, actually, who wasn't my husband at the time, forced me to put my album into the Grammys. He says, this is the best album you've ever done. And I said, you should put it in the Grammys. I'm like, why? What do they have, a menopausal music award? So, anyway, that's why I wrote the book. The audio book, it's freaking awesome, you guys. Listen to it. You'll have fun. You'll take a trip through your entire life if you listen to it, even if you're not a musician. It's kind of like Holland's Opus, Mr. Holland's Opus, where it goes through his whole life. And even though you don't have the same steps you think about your life, just like my song Cherries, which
we're going to play in a couple of minutes. Yep. Well, the book is It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. Linda Chorny. And again, Linda, website, how do we find it?
LindaChorny.com, LindaChorney.com, and I made sure it was put right on the top, audiobook, because that's what I'm pushing right now, man.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So tell us about Cherries before I let you go.
Okay. First of all, it's freaking long. It's about 6 minutes long, but I promise every single one of you who are listening to the song, you will take a trip through your entire life, like I mentioned before. So hang in there. Don't be scrolling on your freaking phone. Close your eyes and listen to the lyrics. Have a fun trip. And then do the same thing listening to my book, It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings.
And what I find great about that book, and what I've heard so far, is that it's you. You don't, like people who are listening to this interview right now, you're going to hear the book in the same fashion. You do the voice inflections, you do the characterizations, you just are Linda. It's a very authentic portrayal of exactly who the heck you are, Linda Chorny.
Aw, well, I will take that as a compliment.
Always a lot of fun. Of course you will, because it is. Always a lot of fun interviewing you and hanging out with you. And I haven't seen you since you were here when the movie premiered. And
I know. I miss it. I miss all the people there. I actually, there's an entire chapter about the Jersey Shore, and it's such a unique place where no matter what age you are, everybody there just wants to rock and roll until they drop dead. And I found that very impressive.
True story. And
True story.
Very talented area. The pool of talent is very, very deep. So, Okay, we're going to go out on Cherries by Linda Chorny. Once again, the book is It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. It's an audio book. Fantastic, Linda.
Danny, thank you for having me.
You got it, baby. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everybody.
All right.
Everybody for listening.
Rock on, my friend.
You rock on. No, you rock on.
No, you.
No, you rock on.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. We're born and we cling to our loving mothers like little monkeys. And we crawl and we walk and we talk, and Dad pushes us from behind. The bicycle screaming, pedal as fast as you can and don't stop. And then you put your tooth under the pillow in the morning and you get money from a fairy. And you're taught to believe in God and life's just a great big bowl of cherries. Your life's a great big bowl of cherries. Too innocent to notice all the bits, but what's to become, we don't know. When we are. And then you go to school, maybe get lucky enough to be the teacher's pet. But then you go to school and learn about rules and how kids are cruel, and you don't like homework. Then you have your first crush and it's a rush, and maybe even your first kiss. And you have your heart broken for the first time, and you bite on your first pill. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries. Just be careful of the pits so you don't break your tooth on the truth of what's to become. We don't know when we're young. We're still young. We're still young, still young. We're still young, still young. Then you have your first drink and cigarette and auto wreck and run away from home for at least 3 hours. You get a job or procrastinate the inevitable by going back to school. You get along cause you're in debt, you got bills stacked so high you can barely see. And then you make the discovery that money doesn't grow on cherry trees. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries till you gotta pay for the fruit. So you eat what you can cause you begin to know life's not gonna get any easier as we grow. We're still young. We're still young. And then you fall in love and you think it will last forever. And if forever lasts a few years, well, you know life's gonna be a hell of a ride. And maybe you'll find the right one who will do you no wrong, and you feel the words of love songs till you find out that he's been climbing up someone else's tree. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries till you find someone right. So you weed out the bad ones, eventually forgotten. And what's to become, we're not so sure as we mature. We're still young. We're still young. We're still young. You have a kid or two or none, watch the news and view the insanity of war and religion. Then you may realize you were taught to believe in God just because the people before you and before them were taught the same thing. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries till you choke on a pit, but you get the friend to give you the Heimlich and lean on their shoulder and breathe in anticipation of what you get when you're older. When you're older, yeah. Then you're sitting in a hospital room with your family, watching a loved one die. And And you think about your life and your head spins at how fast time flies by. Then you turn around to the beautiful sound of a newborn baby's cry. Yeah, life's a great big bowl of cherries, sometimes bittersweet, but you taste all you can and embrace all the love and avoid all the hate and never hesitate to wear your heart out on a limb and laugh and be silly with my friends and sing at the top of my lungs my favorite Beatles songs. Oh, 'cause we never know where we're gonna go, we never know where we're gonna go, but what's to come will come no more. When we're gone, when we're gone, when we're gone. Still young, 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 we're still young.
Linda is a piece of work. She really is. I love her to death. Her husband Scott, great guy also, and when the time she spent around the Jersey Shore was really kind of cool. A lot of fun. She came on this program back when we were on the AM station.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think until now that's the last time she was on the show. So it's been about
Was it really?
15, 16 years.
I thought she came on right before, or one of the times when during the time I was here, but
Well, maybe she
because
did.
of the movie. But I didn't. I wasn't on that
yes,
show, right?
yes,
'Cause
yes.
we were promoting the movie.
Yes, the movie,
Right.
which is a great movie. Her great new audiobook, It Ain't Over Till the Indie Sings. Now, you heard her songs in there. That was Cherries that we just listened to at the
Nice.
end of the interview. And, of course, Mother's Little Helper in there. And the other one, Bored, which was written during the pandemic. Right. We're going to, the last interview before we wrap things up is with Miss Cricket.
Yay!
Cricket Edgeworth. She tells a great story about how she got that nickname and going to school, and people actually called her by her real name, and she didn't answer because her whole life she was Cricket. But she plays in Hambone Gallery all the time with Hambone and his band,
That's where we met them.
right across from the Hooker Hotel in Clarksdale, Mississippi. She talks about the Juke Joint Festival and what it's like being a Clarksdalian. So here's Cricket Edgeworth. Well, with me right now are one of the amazing people that I had the pleasure to meet and stay friends with when producer Claire and I went to Clarksdale, Mississippi last year. Please welcome to a Rock On podcast here on Rock On Radio, Miss Cricket Edgeworth. How are you, my friend?
I am great, my friend. How are you?
I am always delighted to hear from you, especially with the way this all came about with you running into our friend Christine Zemla and her husband Scott, the blind squirrel, as we call him up here in these parts, down in Clarksdale. Last week? Last month?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you are a keyboard player.
Yes.
And you write some of your own songs, but you mostly perform with who?
Oh, gosh, I perform with Stan Street and the Hopeless Case Band.
I love that name. I love that.
I do. I do too. It is absolutely wonderful. And I perform by myself. And I will also perform with another band, which is very special to me. And we don't even have a name for it. It's just called Cricket. But it's my two sons and a drummer. So we have really, since I spoke with you last year, have come along just a little bit of way. And I'm very excited about it. Very excited.
Oh, I think that's fantastic. Now, you were born and raised in Clarksdale.
That's right.
I remember you telling me that, and I recall the story, but for those who may not have heard our interview last year, tell them how you got the name Cricket.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'd be happy to. My grandfather said that I hopped around all the time when I was little, and so when I went to kindergarten, they called me Kathy, and I didn't answer to my name, and they thought I was deaf. But it was only because I've only been called Cricket all my life. So that was kind of funny. And anyway, my grandfather gave me the beautiful name of Cricket, which I love, and will never answer to anything else.
That is kind of funny. They thought you were deaf because.
They did.
Wow. Like, who the heck is this Kathy they're talking about?
Who the heck is this?
Fantastic. When I met you, you were sitting on the bench out front of the Hambone Art Gallery.
That is right.
Which I always crack up because I had taken a picture down the street, and then I noticed when I looked at the picture, the hotel across the street is called the Hooker Hotel, which for us people up here in the northern part of the country, we're thinking, oh my, what the heck kind of place is that? But down there, I mean, there's the Hooker Hotel, there is a Hooker Street or Hooker Lane too, right?
Yes, Hooker's Grocery. I play there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, very good food. And so I play there sometimes on Sunday night.
Okay. And
it's great.
Now, which Hooker are they named after? Is it John Lee or Ed Lee? Which Hooker are these things named after? Or is that just a common surname in Clarksdale?
I think it's one all in the same kind of, if you will, because Hooker is such a John Lee Hooker, and the way the name goes, so people will take that and name certain businesses as such. And the Hooker Hotel across the street from Hambones, and it's all in the joy of the blues. I'll put it that way.
That's it. And you are a blues musician who's been playing keyboard since what age?
5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is it that you like about playing blues? I know what I like about playing blues music, but what is it that you like about it?
I love everything about it. It's almost like a way that, well, I suppose the easiest way to explain it would be I played by ear at the age of 5, and my mother couldn't find a piano teacher to teach me until I was 7, and then she said, well, you cannot play by ear anymore. You've got to learn the notes, and you've got to do this and do this. And it kind of took a little bit of the fire out of me, but then I realized, okay, I can take piano lessons for 18 years, and then I can still use my ear because it's the way I learned to play. Robert Bilbo Walker worked for my father on the farm, which I was born and raised. And as I got older, he would always ask me to come and play music with him, and we would be playing the blues. And Robert, God bless his soul, always had his guitar out of tune, and so I would have to find him. So thank God I had my ear to find him on the guitar, because he would tell me it might be the key of E, but it might not have been the key of E. So
that's the blues.
There's the blues for you. There's the blues. And so I always loved it so much. It was just like that was everything that I was used to, and the type of music that I loved. Just there's something that draws you in about it. It's just so real, So bring it on in,
well,
and enjoy.
That is something that I think a lot of pop stars find challenging is that being authentic.
Yes.
The other night, I said to a girlfriend of mine, I said, "There's just too many dirty dishes in the sink for the to be made for the two of us."
Right.
And she looked at me like I had 17 heads. I said, "That's an old blues song. Too many dirty dishes in the sink." Buddy Guy.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. There's just so many things that, especially if you're down here in the Delta, it's amazing the things that you can think of to write a great blues song.
I mean, with lyrics like, grits ain't groceries, eggs ain't poultry, Mona Lisa was a man. Where did they think of these things?
Absolutely. As when a little line I've been thinking about is, "You don't know the wrath of a woman."
And,
so I've been thinking about that lately.
right, and they take blues artists and people who write lyrics for blues material, they take just an everyday phrase or something they hear and they turn it into a lyrical masterpiece, really, in a lot of ways.
Oh, it's magical. It is absolutely magical.
It is. Well, something else that's always magical is the Juke Joint Festival in Clarksdale, which is in April every year. And you told me some exciting things that you're going to be playing at Ground Zero, and you're going to be playing at Hambone, and you're going to be playing at Cathead. So go ahead, spill the beans.
I don't have my schedule just yet, but there are possibilities for a lot of places around Clarksdale here. Yes, can't wait, and I will get my schedule and be happy to let you know exactly where I will be.
How big of it? Now, I was talking to Roger when I was there last March.
Sure.
Over at Cathead, and he is the man. Him and I believe it was Bubba that helped him get everything started with the Juke Joint Festival, but he is the man for the Juke Joint Festival now.
Yes, he is.
I think he has a woman helping him, a partner, a female partner with it, maybe?
I'm not sure. I do not know. You know what? I'm just a quiet little girl, and just whatever they tell me, put me on that schedule, and I'll be there.
Well, I know Roger said that it's a huge event for Clarksdale.
It is.
That people come from all over the world.
They do. It is super. I cannot tell you the countries and other places that people come to Clarksdale, and it's amazing. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. It's like I play at Hambones every Saturday from 1 to 3 with his Hopeless Case Band, and always there are people from out of the country, there are people from out of state, and they're so enamored by the music and the little town, and it's amazing. It really is.
I said to Christine Zemla, when I told her, or when she said she was going back, I said, I'm jealous. I want to go back. I said, I want to move there.
I cannot tell you how many people move here just to come. They visit and they feel the vibe of Clarksdale, and then before you know it, they're looking for a place to buy or something. It's amazing to me, absolutely amazing.
I know when I was there. Now, the good part was I was there. The bad part was I wasn't there long enough.
I know.
We were there. I think when I met you, that was the day before we left.
That's right.
We left
you were leaving the next day.
Yes. And I felt like I had so much stuff I hadn't done. even though I was there for like 4 or 5 days, whatever it was, I thought to myself, there's so much, like, no, I got to go here, and no, I got to go there. And
There's so much that they have to offer. I mean, if you like the river, you can go, out on the river, and it's other venues that you may not even know of. It's really incredible the way they do things here.
well, I was just asked to be a contributor to a film documentary about the area that I grew up in's music scene. And in the trailer, there's a thing where I say, yeah, if you were a musician in this area, you could play 7 nights a week and make a living at it.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
how
Now,
Clarksdale is now.
I know. Now, sometimes you may not do very well. It just depends on it depends on who is here, who wants to hear you, and all of that. Because there are several different venues that you're doing. Everybody's going to be somewhere, but I've done okay to come back home, and lucky enough to play Hobson, to play with Stan's Hopeless Case Band. I've been at the Alberg Hostel. I've been at Catherine's, which is a restaurant on Moon Lake, and Hooker's Grocery, Ground Zero, Bluesberry Cafe. And if you want to play music, you will definitely find a place, to play and be appreciated.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Well, and you can play in the afternoon. You can play at night. There's just so many different. Gosh, where did we go? Like, unfortunately, Ground Zero was being remodeled.
That's right.
When we were there.
Here. Oh my God, that's right. I forgot about that.
So,
and then
yeah,
I didn't mention to you that we did the Big Steam Festival in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and that was fun. So,
okay. That's a new one on me. I've never heard of that one.
It's Big Steam Blues and Roots Music Festival, and that was a great time. We the band, Hopeless Case Band, Stan's Hopeless Case Band, went and did that, and it was too much fun. Oh my gosh, that was too much fun. And then playing on Quicksand stage at the King Biscuit, that's it's just another fun thing that's not far away if you're in the music world. And so it was great. But getting back to Clarksdale, as you said, there's so much. You wouldn't think there would be anything to see here if you look at at the small town, I suppose, is the best way to put it. But there's a lot to do.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a catch-22, as they say, because it's definitely this small town feel, but because it's small town, there's so much stuff that's kind of hidden.
Yeah.
That you're not aware of.
That's right.
So many like, let me tell you, on the way in, we stayed at the Travelers. And we're on our way in, and Scott, the blind squirrel, he says, "Oh yeah, there's Sean's." We're driving by. I'm like, "What the heck was he pointing at?" And the bad apple looks like it's just condemned.
Absolutely, it does.
And I'm like, "That building?"
That building? Okay.
And then I went there, and I was like, "This is fantastic." And it was at like 3:00 on whatever it was, Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, whenever Sean opens. Yeah. And
so is Sean up there by himself, and he'll stop for a second to go get somebody a beer and then come back and start playing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so that's the way it is. You just have to kind of help yourself around here sometimes.
Well, here was the when I was there that day, Sean, there was somebody from one of the local newspapers, I think, a reporter. And Sean said something to him, and the guy's like, all right, well, I got to go. And he gets up and leaves. And Sean's like, what? Did I say something? Wait a minute.
Right.
And the guy walks out of the club. Now, you know how big that club is. It's the size of a small garage.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
So Sean is in the middle of playing a song, and he says, all right, hold on, I'll be right back. And you can hear him. He chased the guy down the street yelling, whoa, come back. Where you going? I didn't mean to say anything.
I know.
And we're all sitting in the club looking at each other like, what the heck's going on? But
What the heck is going on?
oh, but it was just too funny. And
I
it was,
know.
like Bubba said to me, we got more characters than Sesame Street. Now you're part of the cast.
Yes. Oh, yes. There are so many characters around this town. I mean, it is amazing. It's so silly, but you know what? Everybody who lives here kind of knows what's up and how it goes, and it's just the way it is. But it's all good.
So how many nights a week do you actually work or play? I mean, I know Hambone is kind of your official, unofficial home for the most part, right? You do a lot of gigs there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I do. I play with Stan every Saturday, and his band, and sometimes I'll be there. He'll have me there for a Sunday afternoon. Bluesberry Cafe, they have a wonderful breakfast, and so it's a 10 to 12 in the morning gig, and there's always people there that enjoy the breakfast and the music. And Alberg, I'll play there Sunday nights sometimes. So I don't have a set schedule. I will just do whenever someone asks me to come play. I never say no. If I'm available, I will be there. And I've got good feedback from where I have played, and I'm excited that I can at least still sing and play music, if that makes sense.
You can do. Matter of fact, I just saw something online yesterday where a guy was talking about that. Being a musician, you can be a musician as long as you want to be a musician, unless your body won't allow you to.
That's right.
You can do it into your 90s.
That's right.
My mother's cousin is 80-some years old and still plays the drums.
And still play music.
Yes.
I know it.
So it's all in the mind, really.
It is. And, I thought, this is very personal, I suppose, that I would be embarrassed, that I would be, sort of kind of, I'm still 35, but I'm really not, but that I would be an older lady playing music. But it doesn't bother me because I get such a wonderful feedback from people that I have never met. And it's amazing. And that it keeps your heart full of joy. It makes you still want to do what you love to do.
No, look, Cricket, I'm 62 years old, and I love playing. My body doesn't cooperate so much anymore between my knees and my hands, but,
Gotcha.
I love playing the drums and doing Latin percussion. And when we were in Clarksdale last year, I got to jam with B a little bit up at the hostel.
Oh my God, I love B. B is my drummer.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The first time I ever encountered him, Lala Craig had come up to New Jersey to do a show at Monmouth University up here. And B was her drummer, and can't remember who the bass and the guitar player were, but I know it was definitely B was playing drums for her.
Definitely. He is so kind. B is wonderful.
He was doing a solo acoustic guitar thing at the hostel. Yeah, the hostel? No, not the hostel. The commissary. I'm sorry. But over by Shack 'em Up.
Yeah, Shack 'em Up. Shack 'em Up.
At the commissary, and myself and co-traveler Gary Newworth on harmonica, we got up and jammed with B for a few tunes. It was a lot of fun.
I know. B he's wonderful, and if he's available anytime, he will play with me.
There you go. Well, that says a lot about you.
I love him. I do.
everything's easy to love down there.
It is, isn't it?
We went to the Den again
Yes.
because we thought Big A was supposed to be there,
Right.
and it turns out he wasn't. We had it wrong, but it was like 9 o'clock at night, and 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and this gentleman says, "Oh, the music just ended." We're like, "Oh," and he says to Christine, "Where are you all from?" And she said, "From New Jersey. We were hoping to catch such a." Wait a minute. Are you you're the group from New Jersey comes here? Yeah. He goes, hold on. Picks up his cell phone, makes a phone call. And Big A was supposed to be there with Edna. Is it Edna? Nicole?
It may have been Edna Nicole, or it may have been Heather. I'm not
No,
sure.
it was Edna Nicole. And she said, Christine said, we thought Big A was supposed to be here with Edna Nicole. And he says, hold on. Makes a phone call. Yeah, Jersey. Hold on. Hands Christine the phone, and she's like, oh, okay. All right, great. Within an hour, Big A, Edna Nicole, Slim, and who's Big A's drummer? The kid that plays left-handed but on a right-handed kit.
Lee.
Lee.
Is it Lee?
I think that's his name. Yeah. He looks real young. He's kind of short, small. Yes.
Debbie Lee.
They show up. Not only do they show up, set up within an hour, but then they played for 2 hours for us.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, they would do that.
Exactly. If you did that up here in New York City, they would look at you and go, see ya.
See ya.
But down there, they went out of their way to provide music to us.
Of course. And that's kind of the way it is down here.
Yes. So the Juke Joint Festival, for you, is this the first time you're playing it, or have you done so in various...
No.
Okay.
No, not the first time.
That's good.
We're just hanging in there, doing what we do.
Have you always played it with the same configuration, or have you done it with different bands?
Different.
Okay. Look, I know you lived it. I live about 20 minutes from a Six Flags park, and I never go there.
Right. I know. I get it. And most people who live in Clarksdale, it's just such a normal thing. A lot of people who live here don't go there. So I get it. I do.
Like for people like me and our contingent from the Jersey Shore Jazz and Blues Foundation, we go there, and to us it's like, wow, this is so cool. The history and the signs and the Delta Blues Museum and the tourism board and the train station that was in that movie and just you know what caught me? There were two things that caught me about Clarksdale. And this is the truth. Number one, I'm sitting out front of the Travelers having a small cigar.
There you go.
And I look down to the right, and there's that old Rexall drugstore.
Yeah.
That's now like a chicken wing place or something.
Yes.
And they didn't remove the old Rexall drug sign.
No.
Or that big sign. They just put the new sign right underneath it.
That's right.
It's like they preserved the history of the architecture.
Yes.
And the buildings and the signage. It's like stepping back into 1950.
It really is. It really is. And I will tell you, all right, you stayed at the Travelers. So I think 2 doors down from you was an old drugstore, and it was called Haggard Drugstore.
Okay.
And when I was growing up, that was our pharmacy. That whenever I got sick or anything, and they call in, you go to the doctor and get a script or something, we would go to Haggard Drugstore, which I think now is called the Blue Moon Cafe or Blue Cotton. Excuse me, Blue Cotton Cafe, and they have wonderful sandwiches, and it's amazing the way the silly little things are around here, and that I was born and raised, of course, here, and you see it as something new, but you still remember it as the history of what it was.
Well, right. And when the people come there for events like the Juke Joint or the Sunflower Festival and those kind of things, they must look at it like they have got to be blown away at this small town charm and by the people, because that was the other thing that I noticed when I was there. We got to our hotel, and the next morning, I'm sitting outside having a cup of coffee right there on the sidewalk on those little bistro tables.
Yes.
And I'm by myself, and this gentleman walks by, and he's got on an Oakland Raiders t-shirt.
Uh-huh.
And he looks at me and he says, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning to you." And I said, "How about them Raiders, huh?" And he stopped. Him and I had a conversation for about a good 5 to 10 minutes about the NFL and all of its shortcomings. And and he said, "It was so nice to meet you." He shook my hand and he walked away. He couldn't have been around the corner and halfway to Sean's, and all of a sudden this black car pulls up. And the guy rolls down the passenger side window and he goes, "Danny Coleman, how are you?" And I'm like, "I am in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Who the heck knows me here?"
How do you know my name?
Right? And I looked, and I had to look twice, because up to this point I had only met him twice, and that was like a year apart. And it was Bubba.
Oh, no.
And Bubba got out and left his car running right there in the parked in front of the Travelers, got out, came over, sat down, and talked to me while I finished my coffee. And, people just don't do that up here in the Northeast,
No, they don't.
And everywhere we went, people were so friendly and welcoming and polite. And it was just, it's like, this is the way I was raised. I wish I could be here all the time.
I know. I know. I'm going to tell you, Danny, my husband, and I had moved away, and we were gone for probably 20 years. And then we just decided, he looked at me, he said, "Do you want to go back home? You want to go back to Clarksdale?" I said, "Yes, I do. I do." And I will never look back, Danny Coleman. I will never look back. I love it.
And I totally get it. I took that Jeep tour with Chili Billy, and I saw and learned, and the things and he was fantastic. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody listening, I highly recommend the Chili Billy Jeep tour.
Absolutely.
I mean, we stopped in the middle of the street because Howard Stovall was coming out of the barber shop. Hey, I want to introduce you to these people.
Howard Stovall and I went to school together.
Okay.
And last year at the Juke joint, I was playing at Ground Zero, and he gave me the most wonderful introduction before we started playing, and he was just so kind. It was so much fun. Too much fun.
Oh, I bet. Now, Howard, of course, it was his family that owned the plantation where Muddy Waters' house stood.
That's right. That's right.
And he is a part owner, along with Eric Meyer and Morgan Freeman of Ground Zero. Does Morgan come to those events in the Juke Joint Festival? He's usually there, right?
Well, I did not see him last year, but I have seen Morgan Freeman when I have been playing at Ground Zero in the past.
Okay.
So yes, there are times he will be there. You never know, but he is there.
Yeah, well, it's fun. That's the other thing that's kind of funny. Celebrities like to frequent Clarksdale, Mississippi. I know, back in the day, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant used to go there all the time.
That's right.
And,
that is right.
And I think it was Billy told us on that Jeep tour, Tennessee Ernie Ford was actually from Clarksdale, and Mississippi Fred McDowell was actually from Tennessee.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? And I'll tell you, we were, and I was playing there at Hambones, of course, and there was two guys called the Ya-Ya Boys. They were from Minnesota, and so somehow they wound up coming over to have dinner with us and staying here at our home, and just it was great. I mean, and we have become friends, and it's just great the way that you can meet people and just everybody's kind of on the same level of loving music. And as long as you love music, you will all come together.
Right. Well, that is very, very, very true. Just I gotta say this because just to kind of emphasize my point a little bit, Cricket.
Okay. All right, darling.
When I called you and I mentioned before we just talked on the air here about the Juke Joint Festival.
Yeah.
You had said to me you should come, and I was like, I'm actually thinking about it, and the first thing out of your mouth was, you can come, you can stay with me, and you can, there's a drum kit, and you can, you didn't even hesitate.
No.
I could be an axe murderer,
No, I don't think so.
No, I know.
I don't think so.
No, I don't have it in me.
No, you are welcome to come and stay with me.
But that's my whole point. You just automatically were willing to open up your life to me, and I just think it's fantastic. Because I know Clarksdale gets crowded during that Juke Joint Festival. Matter of fact,
it does, and people are gonna be looking for places to stay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, probably can't get a room at the Travelers or Shack 'em Up at this point for that festival.
No, probably not at this point. But we are available over here.
I love that. I love it.
It's all good.
And the Juke Joint Festival is the 10th and 11th of April?
I believe so.
Now, is that Saturday and Sunday or Friday and Saturday?
Friday and Saturday is the way that it's advertised, and it may be more. I think a lot of times on Sunday they have, a little bit more still going on, but I'm not certain about that.
What about Thursday night, baby? Come on now. What goes on?
Bring your ass on Thursday night. I don't know. We'll be doing something, I'll tell you that.
That's what I was going to say. We know the festival kicks off earlier than Friday. That's for sure.
That's right.
I think that.
We'll do a fish fry Thursday night.
There you go. That's fantastic. I love it. So what do you have coming up in the future? Anything a lot of fun? Any kind of recording projects? Any kind of band trips, tours?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. So,
I'm going to have to work on that. Remind me to work on that, please, Danny.
I will. You're gonna stay local.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I might want to come to New Jersey and do something.
Well, then in that case, we'll have to put you all up, too.
There you go.
There you go. We'll make it a reciprocal.
Yes, we will.
Fantastic.
We will.
All right, Cricket. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. It is always a pleasure to talk to you about your music, and Clarksdale, Mississippi. And
Absolutely.
Christine did say we will be going next year, so I'll definitely see you next year if I don't see you sooner.
But I think I'll see you sooner.
You think so?
I do.
All right. Well, we're going to have to work on that. All right, my friend. All the best to you and
You
your
too.
family.
Thank
And
you.
rock on.
Yeah, rock on, Danny Coleman. Rock on. Thank you so much.
Cricket Edgeworth playing piano and vocalizing on a song called Graspin' Blues. She's going to be at Ground Zero, allegedly at Cathead, and a Hambone, of course, during the Juke Joint Festival.
Oh, fun.
This coming weekend.
And Ground Zero is not Ground Zero. It's a club.
Morgan Freeman, Eric Meyer, and Henry Stovall's Blues Club.
That's right.
And she said Morgan is usually there for Juke Joint weekend.
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
if you want to check out Morgan Freeman, if you're lucky enough to be able to get into Ground Zero, please go do so in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I'm really sorry I couldn't get a decent flight.
Yeah, not now anyway.
You know, this was before I discovered that I was independently wealthy now.
Glad I know you. I knew you when.
You knew me when. That's right. So, well, that producer Claire, that pretty much wraps it up
Very
for
cool. Wow. That's
for
quick.
Rock On Radio. Once again, April 24th at Tyndall Road Brewery, we are having a Danny's Pick Party.
That'll be fun.
Hopefully, Marcy okays, and I will have O'Connor's bring in food.
Good.
And we will have Monk and Monk will be performing on April 24th. Jerry and his son John. Did I tell you I had lunch with Jerry the other day?
No, that sounds like fun.
I had lunch with Jerry Monk the other day at the Nottingham Tavern.
That's a popular place for you.
I'm telling you. Which is where our happy hour was this past Thursday with the Successful Failures.
Yep.
Always a good time. Next month, in May, we have Carmen Maranco. It's usually Bud Belviso and Carmen, but Bud is going on grandpop duty, so he can't be there. But Carmen will be playing the happy hour.
Oh, excellent.
So I look forward to that.
Good.
All right. Well, as I said, we have to wrap it up here on Rock On Radio. Another library series show in the books.
Right.
Ha ha. No. Now you got the pun.
So funny.
So another great library show in the books. Next week is another mystery show.
It's so mysterious. We don't know anything.
We don't even know just yet, but I have some things up my sleeve. So until next week, rock on! Hi, this is Danny Coleman, the host of Rock On Radio, the Rock On Radio Indie Hour, and Danny Coleman's Got the Blues. If you ever want to get in touch with me or find out more about me and my programs, please visit DCROR.com. That's the quick link for Danny Coleman's RockOnRadio.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support.